This king pricked his finger with a needle. Surprisingly, it was to feed a flea. Watching the flea crawl over and suck the blood, the king instantly felt it was funny. In order to give the flea a place to live, he built a crystal house for the flea. But what he didn't expect was, the flea grew very fast. Soon it grew to the size of a bean. It could even pull a wagon with ease. Watching this pet circling in place, the king's face smiled with satisfaction. But as time went by, he became an uncaring king. All he did was breed fleas. Soon his fleas grew to a huge size. As the years went by, his fleas grew to the size of sows. That day the flea couldn't absorb the king's feeding, and with a stomp of its legs it was fed to death. As the king fell into a fit of heartache, he suddenly remembered his daughter's marriage. In order to be able to find a perfect prince for his daughter, he simply ordered his men to cut off the skin of a flea, and invited the men to guess what kind of skin it was, and whoever guessed it would marry his daughter. Some recognized the skin of a sow at first sight. Others said it was the bark of a tree. Some even said, it's a cowhide that's been blown up. The king was amused by the series of strange answers. He concluded that no one would ever guess the answer. But just then, a tall wild man slowly came out. He guessed the answer just by sniffing it.
Flea.
It turned out that this wild man kept company with fleas. He knew exactly what fleas smelled like. The king was stunned by the savage's answer. The princess thought she was going to marry a wildling. She immediately climbed to the city wall to jump. The king rushed to stop her. He said it could be fate. Then he ordered his daughter to marry the savage, to pay for his king's honor. The princess had to follow the savage out of the palace. She went into the forest to the cave of the savage. The wildling's home was filled with animal bones. The princess was instantly terrified. She spent the rest of her days in tears. A few years later, she finally had a chance to escape. She found a peasant woman gathering herbs on a cliff. Realizing that this was her only chance to escape, the princess desperately pleaded with her to save her. Looking at the princess with immense pity, the peasant woman immediately decided to help her. By the next day, a boy suddenly appeared on the cliff. He was the brother of the peasant woman. It turned out that the family was from the circus. The boy tried to save the princess by using a tightrope, but just then, the savage suddenly found them. He came after them without saying a word, but just before the wild man caught up with them, they quickly cut the rope on the cliff.